Hey lovely ladies, it's Rebecca and Erin at In Between Friends. We're so happy to be here because we have twins!
Yay!
And that's really not a we, because I had nothing to do with it
whatsoever. She did nothing.
Nothing. I looked at pictures.
And you're going to find out in this vlog I really didn't do much either, so...
I love it. And if you are kind of aware with my previous video post, you'll know that Erin did go in for a C-section. So today we're going to kind of concentrate on a C-section. So I'm going to pepper Erin with some questions. If you could start out by maybe going through, like, you arrive at the hospital and you're lined up. I mean, you're on the surgery chart, you're in. What do they do from that point on?
I was actually really surprised at how quick the whole process goes. It was, once we determined that I was going to be having a C-section, it was, I don't know, I kind of thought like they'd get to me in like 4 or 5 hours, and it was like, okay, well, so we're gonna start prepping you now, we'll have you in an hour. And I was like, oh, okay, like my parents weren't even there yet, and nobody was even there. And the only reason it was postponed 2 hours is finally somebody said, well, when was your last meal? And I mentioned what it was, and it wasn't a long enough period of time for me to be put on anesthesia, etc. So that was the only reason I got a 2-hour window, and it was like, it goes really fast. Yeah. And it goes even quicker because of the prep time. Yeah. And the prep is just what you would anticipate with any surgery if you've ever had a surgery before. I've never had a surgery. Seriously?
Ever.
Oh my gosh, I'm
like a newbie.
Oh my gosh, I am like surgery. I can tell you a lot about it. Anyways, it's so funny. I had a nurse who asked one of the nurses, the other nurse, is she clean? And I thought, I showered. Yeah, you know.
I was like, that has so many connotations.
Yeah, what that means is she shaved? So you can anticipate.
Okay, and I was thinking like, yeah, she hasn't done drugs for a really long time.
No.
Not ever.
No.
But yeah, she's clean.
No, so you will have a woman, a nurse, cleaning you up down there. Not a full bikini wax, but you'll definitely get shaved up.
Not a day at the spa.
No, for where the incision itself will be. Not a day at the spa at all. As well, you'll get a catheter, which is fabulous. Not at all. That was one of the worst aspects of it for me. And then it's pretty much, that's kind of the prep work within your room. Upon surgery, they're now making people walk to OR. They told me I had to walk there, at which point I was still being super sarcastic with my doctor. I'm like, are you kidding me? By the way, my butt's hanging out in the back. You're gonna make me truck it down to OR? At which point they will separate you from your husband. Only one person allowed in the OR. That was my husband. It was kind of a no-brainer. But they do separate you from him, so anticipate that time. And that is only for the duration of time in which they're setting you up for anesthesia. Okay. You get in there, it is a surgical room. It is clean, it is sterile, it is not homey. There is, no
feel good.
No.
Teddy bears on the wall.
Yeah. And there is quite a few people in there. You've got your surgeon, your OB. You've got an anesthesiologist, you've got a nurse for you, and you've got a nurse for the baby. Now that was all ×2 because of twin factor for me, so it was a mad packed room of people. So hopefully you're comfortable with that. The great thing is you'll get anesthesia, so you become comfortable pretty quickly.
And did that kick in?
Kicked in really quick. They're gonna give you a spinal first. Okay. The spinal is super scary to me. I was thinking like the epidural needle, and I was just like, ugh. The worst part of the spinal was the numbing shot. They give you a numbing shot first. Yes. It's a tiny needle, and it's a tiny little pinprick. Yeah. It's a little pinch. It's nothing. Then they put the spinal in, didn't feel it at all, and it hit you quick. I mean, they lay you down really quick, kind of in a cross-like formation. Your arms are out to the side.
It's your first sacrifice of many, ladies.
Yeah. Once you, the spinal just begins pretty much up from up here and just starts to numb all the way down. It's not scary. It's not like all of a sudden I felt like I was being paralyzed and couldn't do anything. I really always felt like I had control of my limbs. I was just too heavy to really use them. Cool. And that takes you down to your toes. You can still feel pressure. It's like being at the dentist's office where you can feel them into the pressure of it, but you have no pain.
I wish they made that for every day of my life.
Right? Seriously. Pressure but no pain. Seriously. Sorry. You were just saying. They'll put a sheet up
Okay.
Right quick so you don't see what's going on. You've got it straight in your face. The person you're going to probably end up talking to the most is your anesthesiologist. He's right here. He's peppering you with questions the whole time, just making sure that you feel good, that you're not feeling anything. If you're nauseous, I did get nauseous, but that is my life. I get nauseous no matter what. So I don't know if that's going to be you, but he's made sure to make me tell him immediately when I did get nauseous. He gave me an anti-nausea shot, and I immediately went away.
Great.
So make sure you mention that to them if you feel it. They brought my husband in. He was in my face as well. I don't know if it's going to be like, your husband's going to be like mine. They get really distracted though, pretty much. Once that surgery hits and once the baby's out, you're secondary. You're secondary to this whole thing. So get to know your anesthesiologist. Hopefully he has a great relationship for you.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
They then begin the procedure right quick as well. You're not going to feel anything. I didn't feel uncomfortable as far as, oh my gosh, my innards are hanging out. I had a friend ask me, were you nervous? I was like, you're just kind of out of it in a different haze, you know, yeah, it went by really, really quick. I think the whole time I was in there, and again, I have two, I was in for my C-section for about 45 minutes to an hour. Okay. And that's from the moment I entered in the doors to the moment I exited out the doors. I didn't have to walk in or out. They take you to a, I don't know what it's called.
Recovery?
A recovery, thank you. At which point your husband has to go with the babies. Okay. I was always thinking, my husband said, I'm going with you. You know, my priority is you, and they will take care of the babies. And our doctor told us that's not a choice. You go with the babies, she'll be fine. We're gonna have a nurse with her. He needs to be able to make decisions in regards to the children. Yeah. So I made sure to ask if my parents could come in to be with me in prep, in recovery. That is not always something that they allow, and my nurses actually said no, that's that's not a place for them. But I was doing so well, and again, I made sure that I really became really friendly with them. That within about 20 minutes, they allowed my parents to come in.
That's no surprise. If you know Erin,
she's friends, people.
Anyways, we hope that this does give you a bird's eye view. There's a lot of questions of me. I know when I was pregnant and I wasn't anticipating a C-section at all, that's always a possibility. Yeah. Doctors go there so much quicker than they used to if there's any hint of health issues. And it's just routine now. Where, when we were growing up, oh, you had a C-section, that's huge, that's major. I remember my mom having a C-section. It was just like, what's wrong with her? Now it's like, oh, you can see such commonplace. So common. Yeah. So there's really nothing to fear. Trust that OB, and that he or she knows what they're doing. And again, this is not medical advice. This is not like textbook of how it's going to go for you. We are just sharing Erin's experience so that I learn and you learn just new things. It's great. It's great. On this side, it's great. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Nothing to fear at all. Yeah. And it was, in the end, you have your babies. So. And it's a means to an end. Yes. That's all it is. Yeah. We hope this helps. Like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have any comments below, if you have any questions that you would love to ask Erin, just from her experience, she'd love to answer them. I'm not answering dilly squat. But again, if you want more, check out our blog, www.inbetweenfriends.com. Thanks for stopping by. We love spending time with you. Have a great day. Have a great day.